This is Mac from JLPTbootcamp.com here with another N5 grammar lesson. And if you recall from the previous lesson, you just arrived in Japan. Your friend, your exchange student friend from college picked you up, met you at the airport, is taking you home now to his house. On the way home, though, you stopped by Grand Front Osaka, which is a huge shopping mall in downtown Osaka. It's kind of a series of basically 3 buildings, about 30 stories or so tall, but the bottom part of the buildings, the bottom 9 stories or so, is a big shopping center in downtown and made it very popular right now. It just opened, so you stopped by there for some curry on your way home. And now your friend's mom is asking about your day, about what you did. So she wants to know about the curry restaurant. So she asks, "Kare wa dou deshita ka?" And you respond, "Oishikatta desu." So she asks, "How was the curry?" And you respond, "It was delicious." Then she wants to know, was it spicy? So she asks, "Karakatta desu ka?" And you respond, "Karaku nakatta desu." So she asks, was it spicy? You respond, well, it wasn't spicy. It wasn't spicy. And you're using the polite past tense of the E-adjective. You're using the polite past tense because your friend's mother, this is the first time that you have met her. She's someone that's older than you, so you want to show a little bit of respect and be a little bit polite, especially when you're first meeting them. Now, again, usually you would use the casual tense with your friends in, normal conversation outside of a business situation, outside of a company. You would probably use casual tense. But polite tense is something that you would use in a lot of business situations at work, or with someone older than you, or in when you first met someone. And actually the N5 test, the entire test is in the polite form, uses des and mas. So this is the form that you're going to see the most on the test. And how to form this for the polite past tense for E-adjectives, for a positive sentence, you would first change it into past tense. So that means taking off the E of the E-adjective, and adding kata. You have amakata, that's it was sweet in casual tense, and you just add des to that. So altogether you have amakata des. It was sweet. Has the same meaning, but it sounds a little bit more polite. For example, you could say kare wa takakatta desu. So the curry was expensive. So how about that other sentence when you said karaku nakatta desu, and you meant it wasn't spicy? That's the negative polite past tense of the E-adjective. And again, for that, pretty easy. You have to first convert it to the negative. Amai becomes amakunai, not sweet in present tense. Then amakunai, you cut off the E, add kata. You have amaku nakata. That is the casual past tense. Add des to that. Altogether, you have amaku nakata desu. It wasn't sweet, politely. For example, this example sentence, heya wa akaruku nakatta desu. The room wasn't bright. So, continuing the conversation with your friend's mom, she's going to ask you now about the Grand Front Osaka, the big shopping mall. She asks you, Grande Fronto wa dou deshita ka? And you respond, Ripa deshita. She asks, how was Grand Front Osaka? You respond, oh, it was great. It was really beautiful, splendid is sometimes the translation of Ripa, but Ripa kind of has this meaning of, it's a really, great, huge, new shopping mall, to kind of convey that feeling. And here you're using the polite past tense of the na-adjectives. This is how to describe the past politely. Very easy. With a na-adjective, all you have to do is add deshita. Nigiyaka, nigiyaka deshita. It was lively. Or this example sentence here, hima deshita. I was free. I was free to do something. I had free time last weekend, for example. And this last question she asks is, taihen deshita ka? Was it tough? Was it difficult kind of trying to get through Grand Front, Osaka, get through Umeda? Because there's lots of people there. And you respond, taihen de wa arimasen deshita. And you're using the polite past tense for na-adjectives for the negative. Now, there's a lot of different ways to form this, actually. In spoken Japanese, what I've seen a lot is nigiyaka dewa nakata des. That's with the nakata, dewa nakata des. Still be polite, talk about negative past tense. I've just doing research for this particular episode of the N5 grammar episode, I found out that some people will say janai deshita. Nigiyaka janai deshita. To me, that sounds a little strange. I asked some native speakers here in Kansai, and they said that's a little strange, but other people have said that that's how to form the negative past politely. I can't really say, but what's in the grammar books is this other structure, written, for the written structure here. Nigiyaka dewa arimasen deshita. That dewa arimasen deshita. Now this sounds a little stiff, a little too polite sometimes, when you're kind of talking with someone. So usually it's used more with written. But this is the structure that, for example, is listed with the old Yonkyu specifications for the JLPT test, which Yonkyu is the old N5 test, as something that you need to study for the test. Looking through the test materials, the official workbook, the practice test, it seems like this is the structure that's going to be used on the test, the dewa arimasen deshita. But just be aware that there's two different ways to say this, dewa nakata des and dewa arimasen deshita, to still be polite and convey the meaning of the past tense of the na-adjective in the negative form. Yeah, two different ways to say it there. So let's take a real quick pop quiz. Can you say this in Japanese? I didn't like it. What's that in Japanese? That would be suki de wa arimasen deshita. Again, this is the written form. It's a little stiff, but it is still used, and you will probably see it on the test. How about another one? It wasn't interesting. It wasn't interesting. That would be omoshiroku nakata desu. Omoshiroi is interesting. You change that to the negative, omoshiroku nai, negative past, omoshiroku nakata, then add the desu. Next one. I was busy. I was busy. That would be isugashikatta desu. Isugashikatta desu. So busy is isugashi. You cut off the e, add kata, isugashikatta, and add desu to make it polite. Last sentence here, it was convenient. It was convenient. This one's pretty easy. Benri deshita. So for na-adjectives, you just add the deshita onto the end there. Okay. Real quick review of the polite past tense for e-adjectives and na-adjectives. First of all, for e-adjectives, all you really need to do is add des to the casual past tense. For na-adjectives, you just need to add deshta for the positive. For negative, there's a couple different variations there. Again, for spoken, it's sometimes people would use de wa nakata desu, but kind of what's the most formal, most polite, what will probably come up on the test is de wa arimasen deshita. This is the safest way to say something negatively in the past tense for adjectives, and will probably show up on the N5 exam. So that's it. That is it for e-adjectives and na-adjectives in the past tense. If you enjoyed this video and you know someone that has just started studying Japanese and that might enjoy this video, be sure to send it along. I'm sure they would find it very helpful. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you soon. This has been a grammar explanation video from the JLPT Bootcamp Premium site. Inside the site, you will find some extra goodies, for example, some cheat sheets for all of the videos. And those cheat sheets include a few things. For example, some common mistakes that people make, as well as some example test questions for the JLPT. If you're interested in taking the JLPT and you want that extra edge, something to kind of push you above and get the points that you need to pass, I encourage you to stop by the website at jlptbootcamp.com/premium. There you can find the cheat sheets as well as some extra practice with the grammar points that I've been talking about today. Hope to see you in the premium site very soon. This has been Mac from jlptbootcamp.com.